A few years ago, I met someone who changed my life. She isn't famous, she's not an actress, an athlete, or a politician. She's not a business entrepreneur or a human rights activist, but she is my role model. My role model has white glasses, glasses and white hair. She is old enough to be my grandmother. She drives a motorized wheelchair to get around, and she depends on other people to help her with her personal needs. On the outside, she's ordinary, but on the inside, she's exceptional. In all of my life, including the 3 years that I've worked in personal and healthcare, I haven't met anyone quite like her. I met a lot of great people, but she outshines most, if not all of them. My role model is a great example in many areas, but I chose 3 to talk about today. She's a good example of being an overcomer, of living with joy, and of being a good friend. Meet my friend, Miss Faye. Miss Faye is an example of an overcomer. When she was my age, she was living in the Philippines as a missionary, and that was a life that she loved. However, it ended when she caught polio from the natives. Her body was damaged badly, and she was forced to return to the United States. She eventually learned to walk with crutches and braces, but the life that she had lived before was out of the question. It was over. This was a very hard and difficult and sad time, but she's a person of faith, and she believed that her life still had purpose and meaning. She eventually found her place. She worked in Philadelphia for nearly 30 years, helping produce and edit a monthly magazine. In Oscar Wilde's play, The Importance of Being in Earnest, one of the characters says, "What seem to us bitter trials are often blessings in disguise." I don't know if Miss Faye would regard her polio as a blessing, but I believe she wouldn't be the person that she is today without it. Her body became weaker and damaged, but her spirit became strong and beautiful as she overcame a situation that would have crushed many other people. Miss Faye, in addition to being an overcomer, is also someone who lives with joy. She accepted her different life. She chose to focus on what she could do rather than what she couldn't do. When I visit her today, or when I visit her currently at the community retirement where she lives, the retirement community where she lives, I see her living with relish and enjoying the good things that she experiences there. She enjoys her friends, she enjoys a good meal, she appreciates a good laugh, conversation, and playing games competitively with her friends there. She also stays busy doing the things that she's good at. Recently, she designed and wrote her own autobiography. Regarding happiness, Dennis Waitley said, "Happiness cannot be traveled to, owned, earned, worn, or consumed. Happiness is the spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude." Miss Faye is a beautiful example of that. In addition to being an overcomer and living with joy, Miss Faye is a great friend. Miss Faye is a good friend because she cares genuinely about everyone she meets. When I visit her at the retirement community where she lives, she talks about the different things she and her friends have been doing together and the fun times they have. But Miss Faye is also a friend to the people who take care of her. She takes an interest in their lives, and she asks them about their children. And it's obvious to see that she really does care for them. And Miss Faye is someone who is loved and makes friends everywhere she goes. Another way that Miss Faye is a good friend is in sharing her abilities and skills with the people around her. One of her friends at the retirement community has a great life story but doesn't feel skilled as a writer. Miss Faye is helping him write his biography. In his children's classic, Charlotte's Web, E.B. White wrote, "It's not often someone comes along who is a true friend and a good writer. Charlotte was both. So is Miss Faye. Can you see why she's my role model?" Miss Faye is a remarkable person. I hope I've been able to show you in some small way just how amazing she is. I'm glad to have known her. I met her at a time in my life when I needed encouragement to overcome and to live with joy, and getting to know her was just what I needed. I think everyone should have a role model. Find someone who can teach you to overcome, to live with joy and to be a good friend. It will change your life, and who knows, maybe you'll be someone's role model someday.